Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
But how's everybody's Christmas stuff going? Got some serious commotion going on at our house. Lots and lots of excitement.
Well, that's always fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's it like at your house? What do you guys have going on?
Right now it's like the calm before the storm. So I just finished coming off, you guys know, if you've been following us, I just finished a 3-week stint of literally just back-to-back stuff. So it felt really good to not have that going on this weekend and not to even have to worry about, oh gosh, that's what's coming up this week. It was just such a gift. Oh.
After you've been really busy, it does feel super good just to be still. You really appreciate it. We're still really busy. We're going to be really busy all week through Christmas. So next Monday, when we get together, I'll be in the home place. Not this week.
And we're gonna be earlier next week, right? Because
next week we're doing are we 11 a.m. Central? Is that right?
That's what I have now. Yeah.
11 a.m. Central.
We're doing our second Christmas that day, so my grandkids are going to be here, and it'll be crazy but fun.
Yes, but next week is a really special one. It's super important that you be here, because next week we're talking about a year in review. And that's like one of my all-time favorite things, is the week between Christmas and New Year and the year in review. So come for that for sure. But like you said, it'll be earlier, 11 a.m. But for now, how about we talk about commotion, Christmas preparations, Christmas expectations, Christmas memories, all the commotion. So for me, the commotion is the busyness, the nonstop roll. You do one thing after the next thing, after the next thing, after the next thing, and you just keep going. But I get overwhelmed when I live in that space. You just came out of that, JC. Did you have this commotion, this snowball roll of thoughts and stuff going on when you were in it?
Yeah. It was literally, I was just explaining it to somebody that I hadn't responded to, who had asked me a question, and her email text got buried underneath all of the commotion of motion.
Yes.
And it was pretty intense. Burning the candle at both ends is how I felt, because as I was waking up, I had my to-do list already going in my mind. This is what I have to do. And then having the checklist kept me on task, and being able to, but it was like, I got finished with some days and I was really exhausted and I was tired, but I think some things really drain you, and then some things drain you in a good way. Does that make sense?
You're like energized and tired at the same time.
Yeah, because they filled my cup. and it was all the service and connection things that filled my cup, going out or making a phone call to a little lady in our congregation that I hadn't seen for a while. And I was like, oh, I really don't have time. I know she's going to want to chat, but making that phone call and then like just being on it. And it was a 15-minute phone call that I got off of that just so filled just by her spirit and her just wonderfulness. And yeah, it was cool. I was like, I don't have time for this, but man, I'm glad I had time for that.
How did you make the bridge with your thoughts between, oh my gosh, I have to, and I don't have time for this, to actually doing it? What did that look like in your mind and in your heart?
So in my mind, again, checklist girl here, because it was on my checklist.
I want to get my box checked.
Yeah, I got to check my box, but it also kept me, because I had that feeling in my heart and in my mind the first thing in the morning. And I was like, and I've had enough experiences in my life to know and being able to see the difference if I don't follow that impression or those thoughts, how that can negatively affect another human being. And because I've had those experiences. And so putting it on my checklist meant this was important. And I knew it was important from the get-go. So even though when I was dialing the phone, I'm like, oh, I don't have time, to hearing the voice, and it took away that I don't have time.
Yeah. I love that. Because I'm at the point where, in the busy part of things, where I'm waking up at 2 a.m. and my checklist is rehashing in my head, the 2 a.m. checklist. And I'll wake up and I'll go, yes, we're awake, but we really don't need to work with that now. Let's think of something else. And then I'll go into a gratitude. Usually I'll go into gratitudes at 2 a.m. and then go back to sleep in gratitudes. But if I didn't make that deliberate thought choice, I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. I'd be spinning with the checklist. So that's working for me. But I'm looking forward to being in the quiet place next week. But like you, the busy season really does fill your cup, right? It's so good. It just feels really good. Yeah, I love it. But I love this because now that I'm older than 20, I've had several decades of Christmases, and I've been able to see the patterns especially in my adult Christmases, as I've made these specific thought patterns. I didn't see them the first decade or maybe even the second decade of Christmases, but now that we've had more decades than that we can look at those patterns, I can see that I've created inadvertently these different thought patterns that follow through Christmas. One of them involves checklists and 2 a.m. checklists. And so noticing those. So see if any of these sound familiar. I've heard all of these things over the last month. I just love Christmas. People are so much kinder to each other at this time of year. And people are sure grouchy at Christmas time. They get so busy, they don't even care, and they just push their way through. Have you guys heard those? And it's the same season, right? And it's the same series of events, but it's two completely different ways of looking at it. I love it. People are so kind, or they're so grouchy, one or the other. Or what's another one? I've got another one here on my list. Too much to do at Christmas versus I love all the time off and the way everything's different at Christmas. They're just so different. Like my Christmas memories, another one. My Christmas memories leave a happy warmth in my heart, or my Christmas memories make me miss those I love. It's sad.
Oh, wow.
It's the same Christmas. It's the same music. It's the same series, but it's a different viewpoint. This one, my Christmas memories leave a happy warmth in my heart versus my Christmas memories make me miss those I love. I'm sad. That's real familiar to me. And I make that deliberate choice. Okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to dwell on, I choose the happy memories? Or am I going to dwell on, I'm sad because those happy memories are in the past? How do I want to feel? Well, personally, I don't like feeling sad. So I generally take the choice to say, such a happy, happy part in my heart. Do you guys have choices like that you work on with your thoughts? Have you noticed that stuff?
Mhm. Yeah.
Come on, Jen, give us your bronchitis voice.
Yes, I will give you my manly voice today. Not
See
a
how
manly
good Jen
perspective,
is.
but a
She's here
manly
today,
voice.
even though she's sick.
Well, I have a different experience with this holiday season, I think, than most people do, or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't want to say that.
Challenge the thought.
Challenge the thought. Not, and so a lot of what I do is manage my thoughts and expectations and feelings around Christmas, because I didn't come from a very, very good family background. So I don't really have a lot of really wonderful family memories of Christmas to think about. When I do think about them, it's always either tension or disappointment, things like this.
Yeah.
So and I'm wondering, there's got to be something buried in there that's good. So I keep trying to figure that out. And then my husband and I, we've had good Christmases, but we weren't able to have a family. So we don't even have that experience. And so for me, the Christmas season is managing all the feelings of what could have been, what should have been, what was, and then trying to find a new meaning or a new way to think and be in the season. So that's my experience.
Yeah. Can you give us any kind of an example of how thoughts that you've used, new way to think and be? Because you're right. There are so many expectations. Yeah. I mean, we all watch the Hallmark movies. It's all exactly about, yeah.
Well, I know you love Hallmark movies, but I make fun of them for that reason, because I'm all like, this is not reality. So, so I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Whenever I start to like have that pity party, I just have to say, hey, you know what? This is your life and it's great and wonderful. This is just the one part that is just a little tender. Yeah. And what is really, the reason for the season, so to speak. And you do have an amazing marriage and husband. So there's your family, that type of thing. So I just try and focus on shifting that thought of the lack and the didn't have to what do I have? Yeah. And look at it that way.
What a good way.
I don't have to worry about driving all over on Christmas Day, or some of the other stuff, the family drama, because I don't have it, it's just, so I just try and think of different things.
Yeah. The things that there are to appreciate.
Yeah.
I love that, Jen. I have a really dear friend who she and her husband were never able to have children. And she actually lost him in a plane crash like 25 years ago. But they'd been married for several years, and just the love of her life. And she just has been such a great example to me and to my children. Like, they consider her, like, they call her Auntie Jean.
Oh, cute.
And she's like, she's family, but not blood. And she just, again, she looks, like you were saying, she looks for those positive times. She looks for what I can be to others and what I can do for others, and really loses herself in those thoughts. And man, what a blessing. I'm sure that you are, and you probably don't even realize what a blessing you are to others.
I don't know about that. But...
I know, I do. I firmly believe that. And just like Jean, it's just one of those really cool things. In fact, this week I was thinking a lot about what I've learned from both you and Beth in just the short time that we've been doing the Facebook Lives and the podcast. And I was reflecting on that and thinking about, wow, all of the innuendos and the things that you guys have said and how they've touched my heart, and how I've been able to layer those weekly, one thought upon the next thought upon the next thought, and how much I've grown emotionally because of the things that you guys have shared. And it's just such a cool, I am so grateful for both of you. I'm grateful for this experience because, what a gift. What a gift you are. What a gift you are.
Well, the feeling is absolutely mutual.
That's
Yeah.
mutual. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely mutual, because at the three of us in our little triangle really complement each other, right? And just, we need community. We all do. And when you start talking about the creator-based way and the way that we bring the shift in the way that we think about things, right? We as a creator-based community, it does layer. You layer one on top of the next, on top of the next, especially when you're working with thoughts and understanding that you have a choice in the thoughts you think. When I was growing up, I never knew I had a choice in the thoughts that I was thinking. I just thought, well, I feel sad, so I'm sad, or I feel angry, so I'm angry. I didn't realize that it was a deliberate choice. Now, sometimes we can't change the way we feel. We lose someone we love, we are sad. That's part of being a human being. Someone slights us, we are angry. That's part of being a human being. But what we do after that feeling with our thoughts is completely intentional. We can choose. Yeah. And that's huge. Looking at those decades of Christmas memories, I could see I didn't deliberately or intentionally create the thought patterns that I had. I did roughly 30 years of really intense fill 9 stockings, buy gifts, worry about money, about gifts, make all the food, do all the cleanup, all of this stuff. And what happened, the unintentional, was Christmas is a burden. But intentionally, I could come back and, like you were saying, Jacine, deliberately choose to see the gift of the phone call and to be able to speak to someone and make a difference in lives. And in that way, I could repattern all of those memories and all of the times and the things that we did to being gifts, because they really were. It was just, I had this unintentional shift from being tired. It's kind of like bodybuilding, kind of like weightlifting, right? We identify and then we continue to practice whatever the new thought is that we want to have. And isn't that what you did too, Jen? Restructured the thoughts from what you inadvertently interpreted as loss to, well, this is my life and what will I do with it? And you stepped back into a creator place instead of a victim place.
Sometimes.
Yes. And sometimes you just got to have a good old pity party and you just
and eat some chocolate and be okay.
Yes. You put a really sad movie on, something by Nicholas Sparks, where they all die in the end, and just have a good boohoo. Right. Yeah. That's just part of being a human being. But the bottom line is, how do I want to feel today? I wake up in the morning. I want to feel like I'm doing a service for someone. I want to feel loved. I want to feel capable. I want to feel happy. And so when I wake up with that, that's what I want. Then I can choose, what are the thoughts I want to think. If somebody finished the toothpaste and I go to brush my teeth after that kind of a thought process, I am much less likely to be really mad and grumble and, snowball and just say, oh, yeah, well, I'll go get some more toothpaste and brush my teeth because I want to feel capable and I want to feel happy and I want to be of service to somebody today. So I'm making that choice. We kind of have a pattern, though, in the way we choose our thoughts and the way we can recreate from negative to positive. Yeah. Jacine, how does that work for you?
So that just like you were explaining, you just stop. You recognize it first that,
they finished the toothpaste and they didn't say anything. Or the toilet paper. Oh my gosh, there's no toilet paper on the roll, right? Okay, sorry. I'll stop. You tell.
Yeah, just all of those kinds of things. One of the things that was crossing my mind as you guys were talking was a Christmas memory. I grew up with 5 brothers, and the brother just younger than me, he was pretty destructive, and we didn't have a lot of money. And so I remember getting this toy for Christmas that I was so excited about, and it was on a spring and it hung above my bed, and it was this bird that, just kind of moved, and she was so cute, and it was just fun. And Keith, being Keith, was very inquisitive, and I didn't see him as inquisitive. I saw him as just being destructive and mean and wanting to destroy. And he took it down and decided to take it apart. And of course, when you're 7 years old, as he was, it doesn't come back together like it's supposed to. And it was irreparable. And I remember for a lot of years, I carried that anger towards him. And it was interesting to be able to change that thought process. And my mom was really good at helping me to discover and see things in a different light, which was really cool. And I think we all have that power to help kids, right? Because I didn't realize as a kid that I really needed that change of heart and needed to see it differently. But my mom helped me to stop and see Keith for just a genuine, good-hearted person that he was, and that he didn't do that maliciously. He was curious. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't accept his apology, right? He apologized, but I didn't accept it because look how mean he was. He destroyed my one Christmas gift that wasn't homemade. It was like Santa brought it. And, I was the victim. Until I think it took a few years for my mom to finally get it through my head, or help me see differently that no, he did apologize. You just didn't accept it. You wouldn't. You closed your heart. You wanted to be that victim, right?
Mm-hmm. You chose it.
Yeah.
When you chose forgiveness, the liberation that forgiveness brought, really something.
And the love that fills your heart and permeates when we choose to forgive. And I think it's really important as parents, as aunts, as uncles, as friends, to help our young people be able to recognize that they do have the power within them to not be a victim, and to be able to see those roles as they truly are. And it's a gift that we can give anybody that we're associated with.
Yeah. I know my granddaughters this last weekend, one of my granddaughters was just having a hard time. And every sentence that she said was how she'd been persecuted in one way or another, And after she had given me 3 or 4 persecuted comments for a little bit, I finally said, you can choose the thought that you think. And she was not excited about that. She really wanted to feel persecuted and like she'd been done wrong. But we talked just briefly about it, and she went about her way, and I hugged her and loved on her. But then her sister came around behind, who had been kind of listening in, and said, hey, how do you do that? How do you choose the thought you think? Can you show me how to do that? So they really do want to know. I mean, I'm right there with you, Jacine. Our young people really want to know how to make the choices in what they think and how not to be a victim. And the best way for us to do that is to model it for them, right? Take the, how do I want to feel today? And what thought's going to help me feel that way? Take it to your creator, right? Check in and choose the thought that you feel is going to bring you what you want to feel. Whether that's feeling forgiving or feeling loving or feeling capable or enthusiastic, whatever that hope feeling is that you want. And then staying in the flow with your creator and checking in often and experiencing the resistance, right? But he broke my toy. Experiencing the resistance and then embracing that as an opportunity to again practice with more thoughts, not judging yourself because you can't get a good thought out of yourself, but just experiencing the resistance and saying, okay, well, what could I think? Sometimes it's just a hug, a self hug. You're right. That hurt. And sometimes you actually can come up with a thought that will help you feel better. Sometimes you have a great mom who will teach you. But we can do that. You're right. For all of the family we're around this Christmas, not in a preachy way, but just to model it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then maybe somebody will come up and say, how do you do that? I want to know how to do that too. Would that be an amazing gift? Yeah. It's amazing, this power that we have to create the thoughts that we want and the feelings that we want to have. It's amazing. And it kind of calms our commotion.
We want to be that victim though, right? Because
We just slide right in there so easily.
don't you feel entitled? I won't speak for you, but when I'm in there, I feel entitled because I was wronged.
That's right.
How dare they do that to me? How dare,
But
whatever,
it doesn't get you anywhere good.
No, it stinks. I feel yucky. I don't feel good. I feel entitled, but I don't feel good.
Sometimes I will say to myself, like how Beth said, oh, that ouch, that hurt. Sometimes like, yeah, that is so unfair. That is not right. And I'll say, how dare they? And then after that kind of diffuses, and I'll say, okay, but you can't change that. So what's the better thought? What's the better, sometimes you have to validate that feeling of resistance or unfairness or how dare they, and then you can move forward. At least that's my experience sometimes.
I think you're right. Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, just validating. That's a huge thing for me, because otherwise I'll be like, oh, you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't feel that.
Nobody likes the shoulds.
I'll bury it under the carpet, right? And that carpet starts getting really nasty under there. So,
yeah.
Acknowledging, that's huge.
Acknowledging. Okay, so let's see if we can summarize this, because it's time for us to get off. So if we're going to summarize this as creating positive Christmas memories, let's start with the broken toy, because maybe it's a broken dream, maybe it's a broken toy, maybe it's a broken relationship, but we'll start with the broken. What are we going to do so that we can reframe this?
Well, the toy for me sometimes is letting go of the old story. Just let go.
Create
a different story.
Validate first, right? Because that's what you're just saying. Validate. Let go of the old story. Create a new story. JC, you look like you had something you want to say too.
No, I was just like basking in Jen's.
in my voice, my bass.
Yeah, the whole ambiance, girl. I don't know. my old voice.
We love your voice.
Hopefully it won't be here for
you could do Messiah, the contralto part in the Messiah. Would be beautiful.
La.
Okay, so just to sign off, because y'all, Jen will be better in 2 weeks. We know she will, but this is fun. Okay, so validate, acknowledge, then validate, then choose the new thought or the new what we want to have feel, right? Embrace the resistance that may come up as we're practicing that, and practice again. It sounds remarkably like the Margaret Atwood quote that we use all the time. Do it better, do it more, fail better, do it again. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll all learn, and we can get better and stronger in the way we create in our lives. Have that gift to share with those around us, and have that peaceful heart that we're all looking for. Yeah. Well, I hope y'all have a beautiful, Merry Christmas. Happy, healthy Christmas, Jen. Drink some warm tea, maybe. Yeah.
It is what it is. We're supposed to get a snowstorm, so I'm like, yay, I can just hunker down in bed, so it'll be good.
Netflix. Yep.
Yeah.
And happy thoughts. Watch a comedy. I Love Lucy, maybe.
Yeah, well, I'll find something.
All right. Upcoming things we should talk about. We have Mastermind tonight at 7. So all of the girls that generally are here for Mastermind, our Monday Mastermind group meets tonight. We don't have Coach and Clear again until the beginning of January. But when we start, I believe it's January 3rd, we're going to have Coach and Clear every single week. So it'll be an every Tuesday thing. Happy news. Creator-based coach training starts the 26th of January. Can't wait for the new group of coaches to come in. Really excited about that. And we have a Jumpstart in January too. The first Saturday in January, where we're going to be doing hypnosis with a goal and having inspired goals, right? How to get your 2023 started, but better than that, how to keep your 2023 going so that by the end of January, your goals aren't all just in the wastebasket. So
Just a
that
dream.
yeah, not just a dream. So that you still have your goals in March or in June or in August. That will be a big deal. So that's going to be a really good jumpstart. Did I miss anything?
Book club will finish The Power of Ted this week, take next week off, but in the interim, we'll have chosen a new book for January. So yeah, don't quite have that yet, but it's so fun to talk about those books and hear people's experiences and how they're applying what they're learning. I mean, it's really a gift. So
It is the collective wisdom of that group. It's really something. Yeah, you guys are powerful. All right. Well, enjoy the week and have a beautiful Christmas on Sunday. And we will be back next Monday at 11 Central instead of at 3 Central. And we will be talking about year-end reviews and all the good things about starting 2023. So come have fun. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for coming. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
If I live with bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa, day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? 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 You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your